Drawing with a grid is an easy way to make yourself look like a more accomplished artist than you are. In this video, I'm going to use a 4" by 4" photo and transfer it onto an 8" by 8" piece of paper. Notice that I'm marking off 1" by 1" squares on my paper, and I'm using a triangle to make sure that all of my angles are 90 degrees. If you make even one of your lines a little bit crooked, it can mess up your whole grid, so make sure that your triangle is across the bottom of your page, super straight, and make sure that your page is also cut to the measurement that you want it to be. Also make sure that the grid lines on your paper are so light that only you can see them. We'll be marking out the measurements, and then once you start your drawing, you're going to draw out the outline of everything that you're going to draw super light, and then you will erase your grid lines. So make sure that you're using a pencil that you know you can erase and lines that are light enough that only you can see. Draw very carefully, measure very carefully, and take your time. This is the foundation that you need to set. You can see how light the lines are. Here is my photograph of what I'm going to draw. It's a glass of water. I'm marking everything out with my ruler, and I'm also being really careful to measure carefully. This is 1/2" squares, where the 8" by 8" paper had 1" squares, so it's just double the size. I'm going to use a blue Prismacolor colored pencil to mark my lines because this is kind of a dark paper, and sometimes if you use a colored pencil, you can see your lines better. I also make sure that I label every single line, A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3. Even though I've done this a ton of times, I still get mixed up on my lines. So make sure to label A, B, C across the lines and 1, 2, 3 across the other lines. And then you can just grid it out and mark everything out. Here I am labeling the lines. They're kind of hard to see. You can use a pencil, and then if you tilt your paper, you can see them. Now I have my paper. I am going to start very carefully and slowly outlining every single element of my drawing. Every little detail that I can see, I'm going to mark out. I'm not going to leave it to chance. So even though you think you may remember where to shade and where to put stuff, it's easier if you just mark it all out very carefully, every water drop, and make sure that you are using the lightest possible pencil and pencil pressure that you can use.